time to talk NBA Finals, Jazz in the draft, and basketball camps with the Baileys. Big T, Thurl Bailey, and his son Brendan, done playing at Marquette, playing professionally now overseas. We're going to talk about that and about how Thurl's going to make Brendan do all the work. I know how this works, right? But first, we were just hearing from the finalists here. And the Nuggets are, obviously, they're up big here. And I'm curious about the lesson, and I'm talking to two tall guys. But if there's one lesson, I think, for Jazz fans to take as they watch the Jazz rebuild, what an advantage it is to be bigger than everybody and athletic. And there's two guys who are bigger than everybody and athletic. Can we just underline that? Because that seems to me to be the number one thing Denver has going for them. They're exploiting it and they're winning.
Well, it's huge because that's kind of the way the league is trending. You see a lot of these 6'7" to 6'9" guys who can guard multiple positions. There's a lot of switching now going on in NBA. You see these big guys out on point guards just with that size, guys who can shoot from the three-point line, play both sides of the basketball. So Denver is built for a championship. I mean, they're going to get it. So I just think that, you know, when you look at how they started out the season, it was kind of questionable because the parity in the West. But
lost to the Jazz right out of the gate.
That's right. Yeah, but you look at the size that they have, and of course, Jokic is just, it's not pretty, but it's effective.
So it never changes, right? When you're 4 inches taller than the guy you're matching up with, you just start drooling because it's going to be a good night.
You know you have some advantages over them for sure.
Yeah. So the Joker now is being talked about as the best center ever. You're young enough, you didn't see some of these guys play, but you've heard Thurl talk about him. And Thurl, I mean, he's got 2 MVPs. He's about to have a title. That's awesome.
Slow down.
Thank you.
Slow down. Yeah, I mean.
This is just hot take, TV, radio, and
well, it's a different
Twitter
era.
takes.
Yeah, and it's a different era of basketball. Listen, all those accolades are well-deserved by Jokic. But I think in this day and age where the game has evolved and he is so equipped with what he's equipped with, I don't think he's a great defender, but I think his offensive skills and the fact that he may be the only big guy that I know of that the offense runs through, and he can facilitate, and he's a triple-double machine. But, you know, I don't try to compare eras that much. I know this generation probably does. You know, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, who would you take? But he's up there, but I'd slow down a little bit, DJ.
But he's got to have longevity, right? I mean, Kareem's sitting on not the scoring record anymore, but still second all time. Jokic isn't even halfway to that, and Kareem's 6 MVPs and 6 titles.
Well, also think about how we judge great players.
Rings.
Right.
Rings.
So he'll have one. So I think that's just one part of it, but I wouldn't give it to him yet. I wouldn't put him up there yet.
PK asked you about Victor Wembanyama because you were a guy and you told me stories and you probably saw it happen, but you were really young, Brendan. When you would come to the set and Thurl and Pace and I were doing the Jazz pre-half and post-game. And then, but he wasn't there the night you tried to get me to eat a dozen hot dogs, which is a story I don't want to get into right now. And I'm never going to do that again. But you were telling me, and as someone who likes to eat, I couldn't believe this, that you were told in your playing days you had to put on weight. You've got a thing with your metabolism that's just it's running on double time.
I'm thankful
all the time.
now for it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So you'd have to eat all these bonus meals to keep, not to gain weight, but just to keep the weight on during the season, which to me sounded awesome. And then you told me how awful it was, and I still can't process that. But when you look at Wembanyama, do you see a lot of your story with him, and what does it mean for his career?
I do see sort of my story just because of how thin he is. But he's so talented. I mean, he's so talented, especially for this era of basketball. Now, if we were talking my era, he'd get beaten up. I mean, they'd lay wood on him in the paint. He might be able to overcome some of that with his finesse and athleticism and shooting ability. But, I mean, I got through it. I was about 199, 200 pounds coming in as a rookie. My body fat was 1%.
Wow.
I think me and John Stockton had some of the lowest body fat. It was like a contest. And so 10,000 calories a day. And this was really before supplements were big. And so I would try to eat 3 big meals and then have 3 more big meals in, protein shakes, right? And it was difficult. I mean, he'll tell you one of the hardest things.
Doing the same thing right now.
Really?
One of the hardest
you
things.
got his genes all the way, right?
Same genes.
So how much weight do you lose during the season, or are you able to keep it on?
I try to maintain. Obviously you're gonna go through ups and downs during the season, putting on weight with all the conditioning and running and playing. So you just try to maintain during the season, and then off season, try to put on as much muscle and weight as you can.
So you were playing in Sweden, right?
Yeah,
What is
Sweden.
that like?
It was a whole different experience. Anybody who's played overseas can tell you how different the game is from Americanized basketball to overseas. It's very team oriented. They share the ball very, very well over there, and it's just a little bit different. The pace, the plays, the flow of the game. But I loved it over there. It was an amazing experience, and just one step in my career.
And to your point with Wembanyama, like Walker Kessler, sometimes putting on weight is not the most important thing. It's strength, right? Because you don't want to try to put on 20 or 30 pounds in one summer. I think that's probably close to impossible to have healthy weight. But strength is even more important because it's a long season.
The Jazz obviously won't have a shot at him. There are a lot of guys that won't have shots at. Do either one of you watching basketball? I don't know how much you get to see when you're overseas, although some of the guys are overseas. You got somebody you hope falls to them at 9 and they go get? You got a favorite in this?
Not me. I don't know if Brendan's.
I don't really have
seen
a favorite
lot.
either.
Nope.
Yeah.
I think the need is clear. I think you need a steady point guard. You need a mature point guard.
But is it okay if it's a 6'1" point guard, or do you really want a 6'5" or 6'6" point guard the way the game is going?
If you're 6'1", you got to be special. I mean, something's got to be really special about you, especially as a young player. But in this day and age, you like a taller point guard that can score and that can play both sides of the ball. And you don't have to be the guy, right? We saw Taylor Horton-Tucker at point. I thought he did a great job coming in. Chris Dunn came in and did a nice job. So you'll share that position, but I mean, you've got to be able to get the ball your first guy, and Bowery marketing and facilitate and score yourself.
So you have your camps coming up at the end of the month now. And I know you've always, when we've done this in the past, Thurl's always said, I'm there all day long. I'm not the kind of guy who drops in and out. Now I think
I'm still there.
you're about
What
to be the guy who drops in. He's going to do all the,
Stop it.
you'll just come in for an hour. Hi, I'm Thurl Bailey. Then you go, I am Goliath. Come on, give me an I am Goliath.
I am Goliath. See ya. No, not at all. Stop
No,
it.
you're going to be there all day. So
Yes,
what are the
sir.
dates for the camp?
June 27th, 28th, 29th.
You just called me sir. Your phone's going to blow up if Faye saw
27th, 28th, 29th
End of this month.
of June at the Carmelone Center in Lehigh, and we just enjoy doing it. K through 12, doesn't matter skill level, whether you're competitive or whether you're just starting. I got cut twice when I was in junior high school, and there are a lot of kids who are going through some of that. They don't make their teams, and they just need to get. A lot of kids play a lot, right, during the summer, but they don't get in the gym to be taught, and to be able to do it with my son is awesome.
How old were you before you could beat him one-on-one? Do you remember the first time?
It's been a long time. I've been able to beat him for a while now. It's been some time though. Yeah,
I'm going to talk to your editor.
It's been some time.
Chop.
Hey, listen, I know where his skills come from, right? And there's a certain point as a dad, I'm going to be truthful, there's a certain point as a dad where you say, okay, I'm not even going to try anymore.
Okay.
He just dunked over me, so that's his rite of passage, right? But I can still give him a good workout for a couple of minutes.
Yeah. It just reminds me of the time I heard Larry Bird asked if Kobe could beat him. If Kobe was better, if Kobe could beat him one-on-one. He says, "Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm 53." It was a great answer.
Right.
Everybody broke.
Right.
Everybody broke up.
I'm not there yet. I'm 63, but I'm not ready to
So
give in.
you do a lot of other stuff, though. You did the opening prayer at the 2008 National Republican Convention. We know about the albums and we know about the movies. I am Goliath. But I just read you got a patent pending on fertile earth. Is that still working, or
No,
is that all done?
actually, it was a great invention. Me and a few partners got together. This was a few years ago. We've sold the product since then.
Oh, okay.
But it was a fertilization system that ran through your sprinklers, non-toxic fertilization system. It was a great concept. We developed it and got it to the point where it was ready to sell. Look at you doing your homework.
Big T Bailey, entrepreneur.
Yeah, does a little bit of everything.
But you still got the hot dog eating record, so
Yeah.
I'm good.
But I don't have to run your camps for you.
Hey, I'll be there all day. Thurl will pop in and out. Just
Stop it. I'm going to be there all day.
All right, we'll edit this part out. Guys, good luck with the camp. What's the website where they can find it?
BigTBaileyBasketball.com.
All right. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you.
DJ.